Namaste. Thank you for being here with my first official live tarot on YouTube. So be patient with me while I'm learning this new platform, but I think we're going to have a really good time here. Very excited. And I'm going to stand by for just a few minutes and let people join and get settled in. I see somebody's here. I know in the United States, EST, it's still 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you have a chance, grab some coffee, some tea. Here in India, maybe a little too late for coffee or tea. I guess it's just getting around dinner time here. But as you come into the room, I would love for you to just say hello, introduce yourself, let me know where you're joining us from today. I'll wait for just a couple more minutes before we get started. So for the last couple days, since this YouTube platform is totally new to me, so I've been doing a couple trial runs, just playing around on here to kind of learn how to navigate. But and it's actually gone surprisingly well. I'm used to Shubh and I, we used to do quite a bit of Facebook lives, but now with our schedules, they're kind of on. We're on two different kind of schedules. He's doing quite a few guided meditations nowadays, and and I tend to normally have more time, I think, in the morning. So what I've been doing is I started doing these daily energy readings, and these are things that I do even for myself. So it fits perfectly because this week I've been doing it at 8 o'clock here in IST time here in India. And it's gone really good. It's a good way to, just for me to start the day, and then it was a good way for me to play around. So I think what I'm gonna do is continue on doing these lives, and the funniest thing is I've been having people outside of India that have been joining me in the morning. It's like late at night there, or there in the United States. I think it's around 10:30 at night when I've been hopping on. So I think it's going to be a good time. Then eventually, hopefully, I can get some people here in India that will be interested and join me here as well. But what inspired me to do this is I've been doing tarot readings for quite some time now. I've never done them live, just private one-on-one readings. And of course, we're all very familiar with how people use these. They like to ask questions, to fortune telling, um, telling the future, asking questions about, am I going to meet the love of my life? Am I going to get the job of my dreams? But my intention here is, of course, I can help you answer the questions and look at those in the cards. But for me, the biggest thing about tarot is that it helps you develop your own intuition. So it's good, if you want to have someone read cards for you and things like that. But at the same time, I feel like it's best if the person that's doing the reading also draws you into what's happening to help you refine and develop your own intuition. Because, in reality, we all have this intuitive ability. We just need to exercise it. We need to develop it, and it takes practice. And sometimes it's easier, just to rely on someone to just give us all the answers. But as you'll see in the cards that I'm about to read, it's really important, and it's part of mine and Shubh's calling. What the work that we're doing in the world right now is to help people tap into their own power, help you tap into your own inner guidance, and the tarot cards can really help you do that. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And so every day I do just a general energy reading for the day. Now we can refine that depending on who's here. If you have questions, if you have any questions that you want to explore and have a deeper dive, we can do that. But what I'm going to do, since I don't know exactly what's going to happen and who's going to join us, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, and then whoever's going to come back and watch on the replay, then you can have a good idea and understanding of just in the general collective and how it's going to play out for you. So now, every person that is reading cards, you kind of have your own process. You have your own way of tapping into this energy, into your own guidance. I like to shuffle, as most of us do, and I just really take some time to just clear out anything that's in my mind. I call on my highest guidance. I ask that I'm a clear channel and I receive the messages clearly to deliver those to you. So the first card that I want to show you for today's energy, and we're going to look at this in a collective, and then we'll look at what that might mean for you individually. This is the Six of Swords, and I'm going to leave this here for you to just look at. I know there's a glare on the card, but hopefully you can get a general mood or a general feeling. This is something that I think is really good, and we all kind of enjoy or are attracted to certain cards. And honestly, I cannot remember the name of this deck. I bought it in the United States before I left, and I have totally forgotten the name of these cards, so I wish that I could tell you, but I really like the illustration for each one. It's very unique. I haven't seen anyone else use these cards. So the Six of Swords. So my feeling, my intuition, the Six of Swords, it's really interesting that I pulled this card today, and this is my first official live on the tarot, because when I pull this card, it's I receive very clearly that, you know, collectively we are going through a very powerful time of transition. And what do I mean by that? Well, it could show up in many different ways, but especially you've seen it, you know, with COVID, with all the political environment that's all around the world, everything that's happening. There's a great division that's happening, and it's causing people to, how would you say, people are getting very clear or becoming more clear of where they stand, what their beliefs are, what is your personal truth. Now, you're seeing groups that are starting to come together, and you're seeing some people, like there's a push, there's a resistance that you're seeing happen. And it's almost like people are living on two different planets. Like you observe, like your reality that you are experiencing could be totally different than someone else's reality. And so this is saying that we're coming out of a time, we're in a transition, but we're coming out of a time that may have felt difficult or hard or turbulent, and that calmer waters are ahead. And the reason for that is, you know, using the pandemic and what we're coming out of. Like, I think that's a good analogy or a good illustration to use is that caused like a very acute reaction all around the world. It was like a shock that happened all around the world with this COVID, with the lockdown. Everybody had different opinions about what was happening. And a lot of people, it caused them a lot of trauma, it caused a lot of difficulty. Well, now, I would say that time kind of served as a catalyst. So now we're coming into, for some of you, it could seem calm. For some of you, it could be still very turbulent. Like it's, you know, you could feel like you're in a totally different planet still. But the core message that I'm getting out of this card is that you're coming into a time of clarity. You're coming into a time where it's going to feel more calm if it's not already feeling more like that to you. This is a time of transition. This is a time where it's going to be very important that you get clear within yourself, that you learn how to connect in some way, shape, or form. Learn to connect with yourself and your own inner guidance. Why? Because you're going to be seeing so many different things happening. You could be in a family dynamic. Maybe you're the black sheep in the family. Maybe in your society, you're going to be asked to really get clear, to find out who you are and how you're going to show up in the world. Because there's so many different energies, there's so many different beliefs. We're beginning to realize our own sovereignty, our own power, and that your truth could be your truth and someone else has their truth, and not one of you is necessarily better, and you don't even need to convince anyone or explain to anyone why your truth is your truth. But you need to get very clear on that, and you need to because sometimes people might come against you, and it's gonna seem like they're testing you, but in reality they're helping you just to get clear on how you're going to show up. This is a time that you're going to learn to be very self-sufficient. And when I say self-sufficient, I don't mean that you're just going to cut everyone else out. This is more of you're going to feel firm, you're going to feel more secure in yourself, you're going to feel more confident to speak your truth. You're not going to be feeling dependent on other people. You don't feel that you depend on their validation, that you don't need their approval. You are going to be able to tap into your guidance, or this is where this is saying you should go, that it's going to be an easier transition the more that you're able to tap into your own guidance. And that's the whole purpose of me even doing these live videos, is to take the tarot cards, answer your questions, but even more than that, show you how to ask yourself the right questions so that you can become more conscious, more self-aware of what is happening in your own life. Okay? This is a time that it's very important that you see whatever it is that is a fear that you have, whatever it is that's holding you back in your life, whatever you see as an obstacle. It's time to start unloading the baggage, any baggage that you're carrying. Now's the time to just look at it, to go within, whatever your process is, whether it's, meditation. And when I say meditation, that could take many forms. There's no like one way to meditate. There's so many different ways to do that. Prayer. Doing this in the morning is a really good time to just connect with yourself, to connect with the broader perspective, the broader energy, and to ground yourself, root yourself, so that you're not swayed with whatever is happening around you. This is going to be a time where you're going to be tested on speaking your truth in love and acting from a place of love, like not from aggression, not from anger. And I'm not saying that there's anything bad or wrong with anger, but you're going to learn how to transform your anger into compassion. You're going to be able to, when people come to you that have a much different thought, they may be aggressive towards you. You're going to be able to speak your truth in a loving place, not feeling that you need to justify to anyone, but just to speak clearly about who you are, what your purpose is, and how you're going to choose to show up in the world. And you're going to do it boldly, you're going to do it confidently, and you're going to do it courageously. So this is this new energy that we're coming into. And there are many of us around the world. I've been connecting with people for the last 2 years. We are in different places in the world, and we're kind of working in different groups. And we are basically equipping one another. It's really important that if you don't already have a group, it's really important that you find some kind of environment that feels nourishing to you. Because like I said, you could be, I'm in India, and there's a different type of, collective energy here. In the United States, it's a different kind of collective energy there. But no matter where you are, there's this group belief that's always going to be prevalent. And if you especially are being called to move in a much different way than your peers are, there's a good chance they're not going to understand what it is that you're doing. So and sometimes you're going to be tempted to think maybe that you're crazy, or you're going to have a lot of self-doubt. So I want to encourage you that you be very deliberate in finding maybe 3 to 5 people that you can talk openly and earnestly about. And you want to be selective on that. You don't want to just tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry like where you are and what's happening in your spiritual life and these kind of things, because if you're not strong enough within yourself and you go putting all of that information out there for someone else, I mean, who knows what they're going to say. I mean, we have students that come to us and, you know, and they just say really heavy things or very discouraging things. And I think sometimes people can be shocked, especially if you are, like I said, if you're not really in moving in a very mainstream, socially acceptable kind of way. Now, this is a time where, as you're transitioning, you may not know exactly what you're being called to do. But here is something that I think is really going to help you, because it helped me too, and it's helped a lot of our students. Remember what your unique gifts, what your talents are. What is special about you? It's usually something that feels very, very easy, and it's something usually you take for granted in yourself. And maybe even as a child, this could have been something that you wanted to explore, but maybe your parents, it could have been the same thing when you were a child. Your parents or societies either said, oh, no, you can't do this, or you're not going to make enough money, you can't do that, you know, for whatever reason. Most of the time, and the reason I say we knew as a child is a lot of times as children, we're very clear about who we are, and it's easier for us just to be ourselves and to just play in the world. So a lot of times when we're doing guided meditations, we take back and connect with this inner child. So if you don't know, if you just feel totally confused and you have no idea, like you can feel that things are transitioning, you can feel the movement, you can feel that something is happening, but you're not sure your particular role in it, then I really encourage you to find a way to tap in, go back some of your memories as a child, like what did you really enjoy? Some of us, you know, we make believe when we're children, we like to pretend to be teachers. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we imagine as children. Go back into some of those memories, and that'll give you a clue of what your unique gifts and talents are, and then you can just start to develop those. Just take some time every day just to develop yourself. And as you do that, I guarantee you, you will start to get a little bit more clarity on what is something that's going to be soul fulfilling to you. And you're going to find that it's something that really energizes you. These are all different clues that, you know, that you're on the right path. You know, that it's something that you just want to put a lot of time into when you start doing what you love, when you really start to develop those gifts that you have. It's something that just keeps energizing you, and you just move forward and forward and forward. So that is something that I want to put in front of you about that. Now, I'm going to read another card. And we're going to talk about the different ways that it could show up for you. And I see that there are some people here. I don't want to just keep rambling on. There's a chat box here. Now, initially my intention and what I would love is I put out a flyer earlier this week and it had our email address on it. So my intention was for people to send in their questions and I could read the questions online, and but I don't know if I need to be more clear in that or circulate that more. But if you're watching now and you want to do for the next session, in the description, there's a description here. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't see it, then send me a message. But it has the email, and it's Shubh, SHUBHJ39@gmail.com. So you can send in your question there, and then we can get really specific on what's happening with you. Okay? But so far I don't see anything in the chat box. So I'm going to talk about another card to give a little bit more clarity for those of you that are tuning in afterwards. Oh, I think Shubh's here. Shubh, I think I saw a message from Paula. She said she sent in a question, but I don't see. Can you look and see if she sent an email?
Oh, email?
She said that she has been, I don't know if she's trying to get in the room or what's happening. Can you check on that?
There's no email.
No email. Paula, if you're one of the people watching, because I can't see exactly, but I saw a message pop up on I think you were trying to message me on Messenger. Shubh says he doesn't have any.
She messaged me, but no email.
Oh. So far I don't have any questions. Do you see any questions from her?
She sent me one email many days before.
Well, Paula, if you're watching now, I just told Shubh earlier today to make sure he checked his email, and he said he didn't have any. So we'll see. Can you send me a question? Or read her question? What's her question? Because I'm not sure. Maybe she doesn't know how to type it in the chat box either. So while I'm waiting for that, I'll read this.
I'm sending you her question.
How are you sending it? Can you just read it? Because I don't have any way to pull it out yet. Okay. So we're just moving along. We have this Knight of Pentacles. So in this time of transition, so the Knight, it represents being on a mission. And Pentacles has to do with like the manifest world, coins, money, this kind of thing. So as you are moving forward, as you're transitioning in this time, and you're being asked, like I said, to leave behind the things that aren't serving you, the things that are weighing you down. When you're, let's say you've already started taking some of these steps that I've talked about. Now, the important thing that this card is telling you is that you're on the right track, but you need to stick with the path. You need to take the steps methodically. You need to take action very deliberately, consistently, day after day. And this card indicates that you feel comfortable, that you're more comfortable in doing that, taking things slowly. Okay, I see. Shubh sent me a message for Paula about, she asked a good question, and I can't see the whole question because Shubh just sent it quickly on Messenger. So I'll take a quick stab at it now, and if I don't answer it in its entirety, then I will pick
The
it up.
question is,
And
I would like to know more about what God has in store for me in the love department. Maybe I already met my divine twin, but it was very tiring. Either way, I learned a lot from that. What I needed to learn, maybe a soulmate or karmic relationship, but still divine. But I do feel like I'm preparing for a divine union. Okay, so my question is, where does Paula needs to put her attention?
okay. All right, so that's perfect because that kind of goes along the lines of the bigger picture here of transition. So, and I'm going to start just to kind of recap where I was. So, you know, when I'm talking about this transition and I'm talking about now's the time to really get clear on where your gifts and talents lie. And this is how it fits into what God's plan is for you, because that's where the key lies. The key is within yourself. So once you get clear and you have some kind of general idea, maybe not exactly. I mean, most people do not get up or don't grow up and then just boom. They have such a clarity. They just say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it the rest of my life. And that's the end of it. Most people, you know, it's like a continual unfolding, more and more and more of the picture. So how I'm feeling guided to answer this question for you, Paula, is that, and especially with the twin flame, because you know you have to remember that people romanticize a lot of this twin flame, but in actuality, when you meet your divine counterpart, it's when you are engaged in the work. You have a general idea of where you're going, and usually that work is what pulls you together. Now, earlier this week, I was answering a question similar about this. This person had been blocked by the person that he thought was his twin flame. And so I'm explaining that even though it looks like it's a partnership with someone outside of you, really all of this has to do with the relationship with you and you. Whoever is you are attracting into your life, they are a reflection of something in your own energy. So, depending on whatever the dynamic that is happening with you, maybe you're meeting different people and you're thinking, oh, he's the one or he's the one, and then something like that. But the thing is that every single person that you come in contact with, they're showing you something about yourself. And if you are being very deliberate and very conscious and you are going within yourself, what were the things, like these are the things I would ask, what are the things that are triggering you? What were the obstacles that you felt kept you guys from being together? I don't think Paula's watching now because I'm just getting her message. Can you send her a message and tell her that I'm answering it now?
Yeah.
So every person that you meet, every conversation that you have is a learning opportunity for you. It is a time for you to get clear on what is happening for you. Now, if we were going to relate this into the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, the Knight has to do with the mission. So if you just keep developing yourself, don't stay stagnant, and don't, the biggest thing with these people that think they're in a twin flame relationship, they just look outside of themselves, they totally forget themselves, and they just are looking for something in the other person. So this is saying, you know, in a love relationship, stand fast, be consistent. Be consistent with what you're doing, with the person that you are. Continue to develop and improve yourself. And as you continue to develop and grow in your own gifts and your own talents, you're going to attract all the right people. And as you're doing that, you know, those are the ways you're going to attract a divine counterpart. Now, if you are looking too much outside of yourself, those are the times you can attract people, but they're not going to be the people that you're going to have a really good time with, that you're going to do a lot of really productive things in the world. Why? Because there's a lot of drama and trauma. If you just forget yourself and you are focusing too much on, oh, Paula's finally here. So Paula, up until now, I've been answering your question. I don't know if you've been, how long you've been watching to what I'm saying, but I've been answering your question. And just to recap, I was talking about first in the general reading, the six of swords. It has to do with we're in a time collectively of transition. So we're letting go of our own baggage. Okay, you just joined. So hopefully the other people that are watching here, they won't mind. I don't think so. It's a time that you let go of any baggage that you have been holding on to, that you start to get clarity, and self-sufficiency is a key word in this card. So we are moving, and I think you already know this from the conversations we've had with you in the past. As a world, we are coming into a totally new age, and it's going to be really important that you learn how to be self-sufficient. And what do I mean by that? I'm not saying not to work with other people. I'm not saying don't collaborate. What I'm saying is don't be dependent on what anyone else is thinking of you, that you don't depend on someone to validate what you're doing. You have to learn to get clear on your own guidance. And in the beginning of this live, this is what inspired me to do tarot, although there's a lot of people that do predictions and things like that. My intention and my calling is to show you that not only answering questions in a yes or no, but to help you be able to tap into your own inner wisdom, so that you can feel the resonance in yourself, and you can say, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, and I can act more like a catalyst. These cards can act like a catalyst to help you connect with what resonates, what works with you. So in this time of transition, it's important. Most people, like I said, they don't know exactly what their greater calling is in life. So the thing that I was saying just a while ago, letting go of baggage yesterday. Yeah, so the thing that's really important is that if you don't know, if you don't have a really clear passion about what your life purpose is moving forward as we're coming into this new time, go back to when you were a child and remember the things that you like to do, the things that you felt free to do, because chances are these give you a clue, an insight on where you need to be in your life, and before someone outside of you influenced. Now I'm getting to your point about the purpose of that God has for you, because this all fits together. So when you start remembering, tapping back into your inner child, and you start just taking very small baby steps day after day after day to really develop your own individual gifts and strengths, you'll start to get more clarity, projects will come in clear. And as you're doing that, you're going to attract, your this divine counterpart or this twin flame that people, naturally are in search of. It's almost works the opposite. The more that you focus on your own personal development, the stronger you get within yourself, and the more self-sufficient that you become, the more you're going to attract someone that is a reflection, a divine counterpoint part. They're going to be someone that matches in whatever your particular, mission or calling, or, however you want to show up in the world. So you see how this all fits together? Now, going back to what I said earlier, so it shows up in different ways. I had this Knight of Pentacles. So some of us, in the beginning, Knight of Pentacles, it's a mission, but you're just starting out. So this is just putting in the work, being consistent. That's the first step. Just be consistent. Set the intention that you're going to work on yourself every single day. Instead of thinking about the other person and what they're doing. See, that's the other thing. People get so lost in the drama of the romance that they lose themselves. So the thing is, you always want to keep the focus on developing yourself, working on your traumas, working on your wounds, working on these kind of things. And then the people that are they're showing, whoever's coming into your life, they're reflecting who you are, who you're being. So whatever's happening, whatever person that you're with, if they're triggering you, something like that's happening, they're showing you, they're doing you a favor. They're showing you what you need to heal, what you need to work on. And that is exactly what this twin flame journey is. It's all about this inner growth. It's not just this like soap opera kind of grand romance or something like that. It's connecting with a partner that you have a bigger mission. You have something outside of yourself, a project, a passion, something that you are manifesting in the world together. That's where the focus is what is it you want to create together in the world that's going to be in service. That's really what the twin flame journey is. And your divine counterpart, they're just showing you everything that you need to cleanse, everything that you need to purify. Now, another card that I pulled on how this is manifesting, the Seven of Wands. So for those of you out there that, maybe you have a clarity already. You know what you are wanting to manifest. You know what your purpose is in life. You already have taken steps. Let's say you already have experienced success. So here's one thing that I want to say is when you're making transitions. Oh, from North India. Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm just talking about the collective energy. I'll try to review where I've been, but if you have any specific question that you want to ask, just feel free to put it in the chat box and I'll see it. So back to where I am on the Seven of Wands is, hello, I see that you just joined. The Seven of Wands. So in this time of transition that we're talking about, maybe you already have a clarity. Hello, Mohini. Thank you for being here. Maybe you already have a clarity. Maybe you're already taking action steps, and you've experienced enough success in this that now you're getting haters that are coming out. So I always say, like, take this as a good sign, because people that come out, and you see this all over on social media, like somebody that's starting to have a really good following, they'll just start throwing in maybe some really nasty things here and there. But try to find what the teaching piece is. I used to have this lady, and it seemed like no matter what group I was in, whenever I would post something, she would always just throw something heavy, something critical, wanting to argue with me. And at first it kind of triggered me a little bit, but then I thought, no, this lady's helping me, because the clear that I am, then she can come in and say whatever, but as long as I know that I'm speaking my truth, then nothing that she says, nothing that anyone says. So this is where this card is saying, the Seven of Wands. It's if you're already in life experiencing some success, and especially if you are doing something that's very different than society expects of you or your family. Hello? Is that these people are going to test you. It could be even your closest family. It could be your friends. They're testing you, or they're not really testing you, but to you it feels like they're testing you. But really they are refining you to get very clear on what is it that you're really creating in your life. How passionate are you to make this happen? These people are teaching you to believe in yourself. So this is a thing in this card that is challenging you, that when you have people on your path, it could be, or obstacles, it could be situations. Maybe you've started a business even, and you've grown so fast that you need some extra support. It could be anything that's overwhelming. It could be people that are envious. They're jealous of your success. People that are coming in and just, like I said, the haters, the people that are going against you, the people that are wanting to argue against you, the people that just make you feel heavy and question yourself. These people are going to do you a favor and help you get very strong about your role in this life, who you are, how you want to show up. Okay. You want to know what's going to happen in your relationship with your boyfriend. Okay. So, it's interesting because I just had somebody asking me about divine counterparts, twin flames, and God's plan in this department. Okay, so the person that's asking me, and it says old account, what's going to happen with your boyfriend, right? So the thing that I want to help you tap into your intuition is I'm going to read this card. Okay. I'm getting the Strength card. So, coming back to this. So, I know there's a glare on the card, but I want you to see this. So take a look at this. And Paula, I see you watching here too. Okay, so this is my question to you, and this is going to give you some clarity. And Paula, if you're still listening here too, I think this is going to help you. You want to know what's going to happen with your boyfriend. Okay, so first let's go out and look in the bigger picture. Like I said, in the collective consciousness, we're going through a time of transition. So of course this is going to appear in your romantic, business, it's going to appear in everything. So the thing I want to ask you that you're saying, what's going to happen with your boyfriend? Well, this is what's going to happen. How strong are you feeling within yourself? Are you counting on him? And I don't know how long you've been with us, but are you counting on your boyfriend to validate you? Or do you feel like you feel strong just in your own energy? Because if you want to attract this person, like I said, whoever you are with in your current relationship, they are a reflection of your energy. So however this person is triggering you, they're going to show you what you need to clean up, whatever's happening, whatever drama is happening in your life. Yes, you were right. Yeah. So the thing is, you are going to become much more attractive the stronger that you feel within yourself. Now, here's the other thing. When we talk about strength and power and all of these things, we're coming into a time collectively and individually. And in even our closest relationships, you know, you could be doing something that's a little different maybe than society or your community is expecting. But the thing is that we're coming into a time you have to refine yourself to be able to speak the truth. It could be, you could have a different idea. This could apply to a boyfriend, a business partner, anyone. Maybe you are at a disagreement or something that appears. So if you want to have a harmonious relationship, it's knowing yourself, feeling strong within yourself. The first card that I pulled was the Six of Swords. It's all about self-sufficiency. And the more that you believe in yourself, the more that you trust yourself, the more that you're connected, then you are going to be more attractive to whoever's, you know, your boyfriend that's here now. You know, you're going to be attractive to the right person for you. So that's the question. And earlier I was answering Paula's question. The thing that trips people up in relationships is when they get too dependent and reliant on their partner for validation, and then we get in this runner-chaser dynamic. Then, like, you know, usually it's the man that's like running for the hills when you... Oh, you're a Libra. So you want to know about your career? Okay. So let me ask you this, because it's going to be more individual for you as a Libra. Well, first off, I can just tell you, as a career for a Libra, harmony is very, very important. You like to have peace and you like to have balance. So balance is very important for you. Now, earlier I was talking about in this time of transition. So it could be career, relationship, whatever's happening. Go back into that time, and I said it earlier, probably before you came in, is if you don't know exactly the career that you want, which is normal, because most of the time as children, we were very clear. We knew what we loved to do. We would play. Sometimes we would pretend to be teacher, like whatever you did, or a singer, or whatever. When you were a child, you were uninhibited because, you know, you didn't care at that point who judged you. So if you want to know really the career that is in alignment with you, I'm going to say go back to your childhood and remember all of the things that you love to do. How did you spend your time? How did you get lost? That'll give you clues to your personality. And even though you don't know exactly, because, when you look in an astrology chart, in my chart, it's got a big long list of all of these different things. You know, it's got singer, creative arts, writing, speaking, communication. So the thing is that you can manifest it in many different things, but you have to be in alignment with knowing what are your basic, what are your basic gifts, talents, and skills. And the clue is it's usually something that's very easy for you. So that's what I want to invite you to. Like, what are the things that you feel like are very easy, very natural? Maybe even in the past, people have come to you and asked you to help. These are the things that you need to think about when you're getting a career. Don't just look at the paycheck, because if you're just looking at the money thing but you hate your job, is that really how you want to spend your life and your valuable time? I guarantee you, if you take the time to really fine tune your gifts, your talents, your skills, and you are going to attract the right people that are going to hire you. You are going to be competitive because it's something that you truly love. It's something that you truly are feeling passionate about. So that's what I want to say with the career thing. And so many times these outside influences, and you're welcome. Thank you. I see that. Thank you for opening my core. So many times we're too influenced by people around us, and we love them, and they have the best intentions, but maybe there's something that you absolutely love or you want to do, but somebody told you somewhere that no, you're never going to make any money doing that, or no, you're not good at it. The truth is, you already know what you're good at. It's where you love naturally to put your energy. That's what you need to be focused on, developing it. And when you do that, and I said this a little earlier in the video when we were talking about it, is when you are using your time and your energy in the best, then you always are going to have this overflow. It's going to be energizing, and you want to put your time into something that you feel like you just love to do. You know, if you take a job, you start a career only because it's going to have a fat paycheck, you're going to be spending every hour is just going to be in misery if that's the only thing that you're looking at in your career. So that's the best advice there, because the truth is, there's a whole realm of specific jobs, careers that you could do, and the key is taking time to develop those methodically, progressively. Take time to work on it every day, and it should feel something that you love to do, and actually serves as a way of personal development. And by you doing what you truly love, that's how you're really going to serve yourself, and you're also going to serve humanity. And you will attract abundance in your life. You will manifest abundance in every single way. Your health, wealth, happiness, all of that will be affected just by you doing what comes natural and showing up in the world authentically, and leaving behind the approval from outside. Because the truth is, all of those people that could be hating on you now, or the naysayers, or the people that are telling you that you can't do this, they're going to be the first ones when you have that first success. They're going to be asking you, how did you do that? How did you so like I said in the beginning of this live call, we're in a time collectively of time of transition, and we have to, as a people, we have to be able to tune in to your own guidance. We have to know what is our truth, because your truth and your path could be totally different than mine, but they could both be beautiful. We could both be doing really great things in the world, but the way that that's gonna look for me could be totally different. You know, I'm doing things like in the spiritual realm, but let's say you are very successful, you love a certain business, you know, you could there's not one right way or wrong way. Sometimes we say things that are spiritual or they're material, but no, there's a balance. So you could be extremely successful in anything. It could be business, and you could serve humanity by having a really good business where you're employing and you're doing things that are very responsible. You could have a very, very profitable business, but actually have it in a way that is responsible to caring for the environment. You're employing and supporting families. You know, so always think big picture. Think about what you really love doing. What comes very, very naturally. Go back and remember those times when you were a child. How did you play? What did you dream that you would become? What did you imagine? Because those are all really big clues that are going to show you. Okay. So finally, first let me see. Good, I'm glad that this is resonating. So finally, we talked about the Knight of Pentacles. So now, in this transition time, we have the Knight of Swords. So we talked about, you know, in the beginning, when you're just figuring out like this transition, maybe you're in the beginning stages of really stepping out and taking some risk, but you've been showing up, you've been doing the work, you feel comfortable because you've had a plan. You know, and you feel comfortable. Maybe it feels a little boring or stale to you right now. So this is on the opposite end, this Knight of Swords. Hello, I see you there, Creative Yogi. I'm about to wrap up, but I'm glad that you're here with us. So this Knight of Swords is like the opposite of this Knight of Pentacles. So you're both on a mission, but you just have a different kind of approach. You know, this Knight of Pentacles, he plans, you know, he's you know, looked at everything, all the possibilities, what might happen, you know, the risk versus the reward. Now this one is the Knight of Swords, and as you can see in the card, I mean, it's like going full forward. This one is like someone that knows, like you could be watching, maybe you know exactly what you want to do, how you want to show up in the world. Maybe you have just been inspired, you've got this great vision, this burning vision, and you can just see it, and you're just ready to jump off the cliff and hit the ground running. That's all about with this Knight of Swords. So this is saying if you're feeling like super, super fired up to really get things going, and no matter what, you're willing to risk it all. This is saying just pull it back a little bit. Continue to take the action, because that's what holds a lot of people up. They get too much in their mind and they don't take any action. So what this is saying is, yes, continue taking the action, but just pull it back a little bit, and you know, consider the big picture. Consider like being a little bit more deliberate, because sometimes in this card you get this energy. You're so fired up, you know what you want to do, but you don't ground that energy. So this is saying like take some time to really focus so that you don't get scattered and have your energy going in all of these different places. So with that being said, we're over an hour already. Boy, the time flies when we're having fun. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for your questions. I really enjoyed. And so I think tomorrow, now keep in mind, keep going, thanks. Keep in mind, so I'm in India, But tomorrow I'm going to go live again. Now, if you're EST time, I think that's going to be around in the nighttime, like around 10:30. But it's going to be 8 o'clock here, IST, which is India time. So if you want to join in tomorrow, check to make sure I have my time zone differences right. Like I said, it's going to be 8 a.m. IST, which is here in India, and then it's going to be, I'm thinking, 10:30 EST. Oh, thank you for being here. And you never told me where you're from. If you would, drop it in the comment box or the chat box. So I would love if you would join me again tomorrow, and maybe if you guys want, I can do at the same time, because I think I started it's evening time when I started this live. It's 7:30 in the night, and I think it's 10 a.m. EST, so it'd be like a little reverse. So thank you guys for being here. Now, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, like in more detail, you can send me. I'm doing one card readings here on this live, so you can email me, and it's in the description. You can see in the description the email to send your question to, and then when I come on live, I'll answer your question first. And then also, if you want me to do like a personal reading outside of this that you want, you can also contact me and let me know there. I'll give you like a personal reading, a 3-card. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you for your questions. It's been a joy and a pleasure. Namaste.